Since before written history, humans have invented and interacted with machines to ease our labour. With each new generation, we've created new tools and concepts that have improved our ability to manage our daily lives. But with this progress comes a cost. As surely as these inventions facilitate production and, presumably, our quality of life, they also take a toll on our independence, influence our decision-making, and change the very nature of our existence. This series will explore the stories of those who tried to change the course of history through their actions and influence on the people and processes they believed would change humanity itself. In the early 19th century, machines began to take over tasks once performed by men and animals. This shift had a profound impact on transportation, manufacturing, and even agriculture. As metallurgy and manufacturing improved, fewer jobs remained for manual labourers. In England, as early as 1811, groups formed to oppose the use of machinery. These loosely associated groups became known as the Luddites, named after the writings of a weaver named Ned Ludd. They would attack and destroy farm machinery, fearing that the machines would eventually replace their labour entirely. The British government reacted with force, including imprisonment and forced labour. The situation remained a source of contention until all adult men were finally given the right to vote in 1918. A similar situation unfolded in the United States. The names were different, but riots were common. Labour leaders rallied support for the formation of unions and the right to collectively bargain. The invention of the automobile and Henry Ford's use of the assembly line transformed manufacturing. The US government was slightly more amenable to change, outlawing child labour and allowing unionisation during the 1920s and 30s. The major event that brought the Industrial Revolution to its full extent was World War I, followed quickly by World War II. The need for national defence fueled technological advances at an unprecedented rate. Following World War II, America experienced a period of explosive growth in almost all industries. The economy boomed, fueled by the Cold War and the space race. However, by the 1960s, a growing undercurrent of discontent and distrust began to emerge. Environmental concerns like air and water pollution, urban sprawl, and the destruction of natural habitats came to the forefront. The Vietnam War further drained resources and public trust in the government. It was in this age of unparalleled technological growth that a young Harvard graduate named Theodore Kaczynski decided he could not tolerate the changes in society. He headed for a life of seclusion in the Northwest wilderness, building a small cabin on land he purchased outside of Lincoln, Montana. His goal was to live autonomously, without running water or electricity. Kaczynski was a child prodigy. He entered Harvard before he could drive and graduated with a degree in mathematics before his 21st birthday. He later earned a PhD from the University of Michigan and briefly taught at the University of California, Berkeley, but struggled with social interaction and resigned. Living in near total solitude, he studied social philosophers, including Jacques Ellul, and began to formulate his own anti-technology philosophy. Kaczynski later told an interviewer that a personal turning point was when he found a beautiful, remote spot with a waterfall near his cabin, only to discover that it had been spoiled by campers. He decided to begin seeking revenge on those he perceived as detrimental to society and the global environment. Between 1978 and 1995, Kaczynski mailed or hand-delivered 16 homemade bombs, resulting in 3 deaths and 23 severe injuries. The targets were university professors, technology company executives, and others in computer-related businesses. He gave no warning, and there was no apparent connection between the victims, which is one of the main reasons his identity remained a mystery for 17 years. The FBI searched for the man they called the UnaBomber for over 17 years. The term was a shortening of University and Airlines Bomber. Ultimately, it was Kaczynski himself who led to his capture. In 1995, Kaczynski mailed his 35,000-word manifesto, Industrial Society and Its Future, to the New York Times and the Washington Post, offering to desist from terrorism if it was published. U.S. Attorney General Janet Reno recommended its publication, hoping its author could be identified. The Washington Post published the manifesto in its entirety on September 19, 1995. Ted's brother, David, read the manifesto and thought he recognized the writing style. After comparing the manifesto with old letters from his brother, David became convinced that Ted was the UnaBomber and contacted the FBI. Linguistic experts confirmed the similarities, and the FBI moved in. They arrested Kaczynski at his cabin, where they found a complete bomb-making materials, and the typewriter used to write the manifesto. Kaczynski was convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in a supermax prison. He died in 2023. Kaczynski's manifesto has been the subject of controversy for decades, and with each new generation, it finds new readers and, in some cases, new advocates. It remains a document of historical significance and continues to be a foundational text for individuals and groups who oppose what they see as unbridled technological growth.